Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm going to do a quick market recap. I hope you had a great week. I hope my video last week helped you prepare for this week. It was a good one if you're on the right names. My big winner this week was ARM. This was a fantastic run. Also AMD, also MU, not as much as those ones. NVDA started moving. I saw CoreWeave top out, so this is a move that I think is going to go on a huge explosion as well. Just topped up for now. I think there's a lot more coming. But what we didn't have was an everything rally. And we don't have an everything rally at the moment. Let's go look at what the market did. Let's go look at Friday. Friday, we were up 2% in tech, almost 1% in the overall market. IWM was less than 0.5%. The Dow was red. And that's what I'm saying. We don't have an everything rally right now. Let's look at what happened on Friday. Not that great. Some names were great. Let's look at the week. Some crap this week, right? Look around. Not everything. You look at the month, it gets a little bit better. There's been some good returns this month, but not an everything rally. I think the everything rally happens in the market once we finish our consolidation of the second leg. So when the second leg ends, we are still in the first leg. When the second leg ends, we are going to go on a massive run. And that's going to be the everything rally. This move right in here is going to be the everything rally. We could see 9,000, 10,000. I think that's what we're going to be watching. The 4 ended. That was very clear. This was a great opportunity. By the way, if you didn't like the way this felt from October to the bottom of March, once we top out in this leg, I'm going to suggest taking a year off of trading because it's going to be messy. I don't know what it's going to be that's going to cause it, but something's going to cause it because we're going on that huge run right now. Remember, this is just our first move off of the bottom in this 5th leg. And the first move, okay, is the small move. Think about it. This is our first move off of this bottom. This is the 3rd move. Think about what that's going to look like in here in the big one, which is likely going to be the blow off top. 3rd leg is going to be massive, and that's going to be the everything rally. That's going to be patio season. That's going to be your opportunity to make it. And you got to be ready. You got to have your mindset in order. You got to learn from the mistakes that you've had, the mistakes that you're probably still making because you didn't dollar cost average into this. You weren't prepared to allocate. You're just chasing. You're always constantly chasing. The news is frustrating you. Yeah, it frustrates me too from time to time, for sure. And definitely that opportunity that was looking like it was clearly there, but the news was holding us back. Finally, the market unleashed. And that was the go signal in here once we broke. And we're seeing a lot of go signals on individual stocks right now. They show up in the volume. Pay attention to the volume. The volume is your number one indicator that you could have in any stock that you're watching. So last week I talked about we're going to be looking for some correction and we're going to want to hold the top here. We did correct this week. Can you believe that? That was the correction. That's it. R3, so we got our 1, 2, 3. This was our 4. Our 4 has happened. Now the question is, how high is the 5th going to go on this leg? You know, futures are going to be a little bit down because Trump canceled his plans, right? He canceled the plans to send people there. So we're going to open, at least it's not 1% down at the moment, but it's going to be a little bit down. This was a bad futures a couple weeks ago. We had another one. Last week we were opening up lower. That was bought up. Right here's Monday. We bought up. We traded sideways all week. Then we closed higher. Weekly candlestick showed us, right? Lower open, bought up. So we're not quite sure. I'm not quite sure where this 5th leg here is going to end. We're currently in it. So right now, the big thing this week is to understand that if we lose the low of this 4 in here, now we're in consolidation. I would love for this to push up much higher on this run. That way, this will become a clear entry signal, re-entry signal, when the 5 of this first leg tops out and we come back into the 2. Boom, right? Like something like that, like a zigzag. back into it. We base and everyone's like, oh, is this it? And then boom, here we go, right? That would be sweet. Which would mean we need to break out a little bit further in here. Now, a fifth leg doesn't need to be big. It could be truncated. It could get stopped right away. We're looking at one of these patterns to have happened on that time frame while we consolidated, right? We're looking for some sort of an ABC, whether it was going to be a flat, which doesn't make a new low, a zigzag, which does make a new low, or a triangle, okay? Or, you know, something a little bit more complex, which is a WXY. And we could say maybe it was a WXY in here because it got choppy. It got a little bit choppy because we had a triangle. The triangle broke out higher on NQ, and then it broke back. Actually, NQ was a flat. It wasn't a triangle. This was just an ABC right in here, flat, and then we broke out higher. And then this little fake out that we had on Thursday. So maybe that you could say this was a triangle. This wick in here throws everything off. Maybe you could say it was a WXY. However you want to draw it, right? We could say that at the end of the day, it still ended up in a triangle formation. We would say that was our triangle, and now we broke out. And now we're in that fifth leg. No matter how we look at it, we're in the fifth leg. How do you stay in these moves, right? It gets a little bit tricky. You stay in them by using the EMA wave, okay? Focus on the EMA wave. Look at the 8-hour EMA wave. We haven't closed below it. Look at the 4-hour, right? We got so compressed in that triangle. We finally closed below it, but at this point, it's just compressed because we've gone sideways. We're not trending anymore. We're consolidating. But there's two ways to consolidate. We could consolidate with price, right? Price, or we consolidate with time. And that's all we did. So what are we consolidating? We went from 83 RSI on the 4-hour and we dropped down to 50. We consolidated. You get what I'm saying? We've cooled off. This allows for more runway to the upside once we cool off. Nobody wants to chase stocks or markets when RSIs are in the mid 80s and 90s. Oh, it's in the 50s and it's holding up and it's building supports and they're buying the dip. That's when we could push higher. So it's been a great run. There's been some huge wins. ARM, that's my biggest win right now. CoreWeave was a big win for me. NVDA is now starting to do it. AMD is also a big win. There's been a lot. There's starting to look like there's some more now ready to go. Google wants to go. NVDA is going. But what's his name there? The big short. He's trying to short these semiconductors, but it doesn't look like they're completely done yet. I'm not sure when he actually got into a short. There's a lot of names that I think are going to have these continuation runs. There's so many names. There's so many setups out here. But just be prepared that we are in the fifth leg right now of this first move off of the bottom. Now, a fifth leg, just like the third leg, is going to give us some sort of a signal of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 within it. Okay? So we started in here. Right? We started in here. There's our 1, there's our 2. Right? We should see more upside for the 3 and then have the 4. We just don't know how extended this is going to get. Of course, the headlines in the weekend aren't suggesting that, and I'm not sure if this is a 1, 2 yet. We could say our 1 actually stopped there on this Trump news on the futures, and we're going to open down in our 2, and then this week we're going to push back up and be the 3. We need to get more information. All I could say is we've started the fifth leg. Once this move tops out, caution on the consolidation, the headlines, whatever it's going to be. We don't need to have a significant price drop. We don't at all. We could do time. That too could just be time. I would love to remain above this range. That would be the extreme bull case, and then that would lead us to that everything rally that's upon us. Be prepared for it. CL, if you look at oil, and I think the market really wants to see oil push down further, right? This is a wedge. This ended the 5. We've got our ABC. Now, did our ABC top out right in here? Or do we need one more push? I don't think we break back higher above 101, 103 maximum. It could have just ended here, which then would lead, and of course, I think that's going to come from the deal being complete. then the cascade's going to happen. And that's when the market, bye-bye, is going to be on a huge run. Shorts don't like this market now. Wait till you see that. So right now, I'm just looking to determine where is this move topping out. I think max, we're going to get 100, 101. If we lose this low rate in here, it's potential getting ready to go. So be prepared for that. Bitcoin's doing nothing. Oh my goodness. Actually, it did do something this week. It got into the key range I'm watching. This is the key range right now. We broke through the downtrend zone. That's okay. That's good. We haven't seen huge momentum coming in. The volume's been low. Like, look at the volume off of the previous bottom. You know, we're not seeing that as of yet. That could change. That could change in a hurry. This is the zone that I'm worried about. And that's where we stalled. We've stalled in here for 4 days now. That zone breaks, then I believe we've set up our head and shoulders, and it's complete head. We're going to come up. We're going to stall somewhere in here, whether it's 86, whether it's all the way back up to 94, 95. And then we're going to set up that right shoulder, and then there's going to be a huge run. And what we'll look at and say is, this is actually our 1, our 2, and our 3 happened. And then we're going to be looking at that. This will be our first move off of the bottom. Then we'll look for some sort of a correction. And I'm just forecasting, just drawing. I'm not thinking about levels right now. We'll look at some sort of a correction, and then Bitcoin will go on its all-time high run. And in that all-time high run is going to be significant amount of wealth opportunity. So let's be prepared for it. But 79K right now, that's the issue. I am concerned about this level. I've been concerned about this level for a little bit. Short term, you're watching the pattern and how we're walking up. You want to have this trend zone on watch because we are just shaping up higher lows. Double bottom, higher low. We're looking for another higher low right now above this range. We lose this range, then we need more information. I need more information because I'm not going to be too confident on this head being complete. We could see a cascade down, right? Considering the market strength, I don't think so. So I obviously am leaning up that this head is going to get complete, but I want to see a spike through this zone. And then it's go time. Have a great week, everybody.